Hey everybody, Tony from Detroit Tesla back again with another FSD video. We are on version 10.69.2. I just got it a few hours ago. Couldn't sleep much, so I decided I'm gonna go right into Detroit and get right into it. Quick shout out to everybody from YouTube Shorts that is following me, and I don't want to make this intro too long, so we already got our first destination set. This is my first drive. I did not drive it before making this video, just so the experience is more natural and more exciting. So we got our first right turn here. Overreacting for this Honda a little bit. That was turning towards us. So we should see the creep wall. Let's see if we see the, okay, the creep wall is present on the screen. And the creep wall, for those of you that don't know, is a thing that was set on the software screen to let us, the humans, know what the car is thinking of how far it's gonna creep out. That right turn was beautiful. That right turn felt very, very human-like. No jitterness, very smooth, very nice, and that's what a lot of people were experiencing since 10.69 and 69.1. So let's see what this does with this car here. Okay, I thought he was going to be out a little bit with his butt, but not at all. So while we're at this red light, it's been about 2 to 3 months since I received an update in the major software. I've been just pushing out YouTube Shorts left and right. And again, like I said in the beginning of this video about a minute ago, thank you so much to everybody that's been subscribing and supporting the channel. It means the world to me. I just do this for fun. And now we have a green light. We have the trolley next to us that's picking up as a bus. So let's see how it does here. We got another red light coming up. So far, it's really, really smooth. It feels human-like. It's just driving the speed limit the way a robot or artificial intelligence is expected to drive, not like a crazy human. If you watch a lot of my videos from the early days of when I did these longer tail videos of every new update, there probably is a lot more traffic than usual that you've seen. School is back in session from college to high school, and usually I don't film around this time in the morning because this is outside of my schedule. But like I said, since I couldn't sleep, I said, let me get this video out because there's probably going to be an influx wave of so many of these videos because everybody and their mother wants to be a YouTuber now. So it is essentially about to be rush hour. Downtown there is a lot of 9 to 5 people that work in offices. Obviously General Motors World Headquarters is down here. A lot of businesses, a lot of big companies such as Rocket Fiber and Rocket Mortgage, and Quicken Loans is down here, just to name off a few companies while we're getting caught by these red lights. So we are on the iconic Woodward, and we're heading down into a route that I usually take. It's straight down just to give you guys a nice scenery of the iconic Woodward, and then in the distance you can kind of see the Renaissance building, which is the GM World Headquarters, and a lot of the buildings to give you more of a downtown feel, and kind of represent the city, because they really have improved the city in the last 5 to 10 years of businesses and safety and a lot of things. So essentially, we are just exiting College Town. This is the last area of the College Town. The University of Michigan here and their little side campus, not the one in Ann Arbor. And then you have Mike Ilitch's School of Business. And then we should be approaching the Little Caesars Arena off to the right. They have a lot of new apartment complexes like this one to the right that we just passed. So off to our right over here is the Joe Louis, the Little Caesars Arena. The Joe Louis was the one that was more towards the water, where you could see across to the river. where you can see Canada, and that was the old one. They tore that down last summer, I think the summer of the pandemic. And this is the new Little Caesars Arena where the Red Wings play, and they have a lot of concerts, and it's like, you know, fairly new. So far, so good though. No complaints yet. It's just cruising along. Slowing down a little bit randomly for no reason here. I'm tapping the accelerator just to push it through. There's someone behind us. Is it coming up? Okay, so it's not coming up to the navigation point that I set, where I exited out of that just to see if we can get caught by a light, because usually a light catches me down here, but so it's a green light, but it's like slowing down. As you can see, that, you know, that was me partially tapping the accelerator, letting go. So we have a red light now. Let's make it come to a complete stop first, so the system doesn't get upset with me. So we're gonna send it to a random part that I picked. Let's see. Okay, let's see where it goes. Let's see what it does. Okay, green light. Let me disable my radar detector there so we don't have to worry about any speeding in today. A little bit of garbage in the road, but doesn't really phase the system. Really nice slowdown, nice smoothness to that slowdown for the traffic in front of us. A little bit bumpy from the manhole covers. Okay, we are right in the heart of downtown right now. We are coming up to the famous Campus Martius. Okay, so that is a yellow light, but we can legally go through that. We have another set of yellow lights. So I'm gonna change the destination because it's been a while since I filmed these videos. So I wanna do the famous left turn that it likes to mess up on. So lots of business people with their coffees, walking around. Okay, so while we're at a red light, let me just check this out. Kind of didn't navigate where I want to, but that's okay. Once we get to the destination, which is not far, I'll pull over and do that. So this Ram 1500's got its butt out. There's a gentleman crossing the street. Okay, so it's slowing down for the gentleman, getting in the correct lane. It's always struggled here. Let's see if it's improved. Yeah, that is correct. That is correct. For the first time ever, it is actually going where it's supposed to. Really, really jerky, so I'm gonna send that in, but it got into one of the two lanes that it was supposed to get into. So really, really nice job from FSD Beta there. I'm just gonna send this because we can only go left or right up here, and our destination's here. So you can see this area is very busy around here, and it wants to go right, even though we're going left. So I'm gonna let this play out because this is only a one-way. So actually the car might know something that I don't. Yeah, for the longest time, and I always mess up when I'm here in my mind that I'm thinking we can go right, but actually it's only a one-way going left this way. So, you know, I am just going to let it do its thing. And it wanted to pick the lane to the right, but then it decided not to. And it just kind of canceled on its own. So let's see. It's had difficulty at this turn before. I'm gonna keep my hands close. Okay, it's being cautious. Kind of slowing down. Okay, it was slowing down for the yellow light, so that's my bad. But great turn, great. Used to struggle a lot in that turn. We've had a lot of situations on that turn. Just perfect, perfect. Again, my apologies that I was not paying attention. So that's partially my bad. But we still didn't run a red light. We went yellow. So we're good from a legal standpoint. But even with me tapping the accelerator a little bit and pushing the car through, for those of you that are beta testers, you know what I mean when I say this, but the car will like kind of go off its path and like kind of like, woo, like it could turn too wide, but it's just, it wasn't fazed by me giving it a little bit of a nudge to go. But FSD, from a legal standpoint, had the right idea. It should have came to a complete stop, but there was someone behind me, so I didn't want to, you know, kind of risk it. So it's bumping to 45 here. I don't believe the speed limits are 45 down here in Detroit. So I kind of set it to a random destination, so I'm going to shut it off here and take a left here, and then I'm just going to pull over to the side of the road, make sure that bus, because this is a bus stop, I'm going to move up a little bit. That bus was, I don't know which way it was going, so if it was coming this way, wanted to make sure it is not coming behind us. So I'm going to send it to another spot in the city randomly. Let's see how it's going to get us there, because again, just like a lot of major cities, there's a lot of one-ways in Detroit. So just like Chicago, Atlanta, Miami, you know, a lot of one-ways. So this is, for example, one way that goes this way, can't turn right here. So we're going to let it, you know, kind of do its thing. Another comment that I've noticed while, you know, glancing at the screen, everything seems so much smoother and richer in the software. A lot of the lines used to be squiggly. Now they're either blurry when the car is insured or straight. The car seems smoother. I think it might have to do with that occupancy network. I could be wrong. Someone down in the comments let me know. But everything just seems more smoother, like the car can see more. It just seems like it sees farther ahead. But kind of doing an interesting left and right there. Gonna send that in. I don't know, it wasn't avoiding anything. But let's see. Okay, I sent it over to Lafayette. So there's the creep wall. There's someone behind us on a bike. No? Is there? I don't. It's displaying a bike. So it keeps like flashing that creeping forward. So there's no one behind us yet. I see someone in the distance coming, so I'm gonna let this play out. Okay, so now it decided just to go. I didn't do anything there. I'm not pushing the car through. It decided not to go. Jerkiness there because the car there, but it figured it out. So that red light was interesting. It's getting where it's supposed to. And I think we've had trouble at this turn before getting over. So there's a little bit jerkiness for those cars. But, I mean, we're 13 minutes in, according to my recording. And, I mean, so far, you know, this is really, it's been really, really good. Just, you know, a couple jerkiness here and a couple questionable things that are really, really small. But there was nothing, you know, that was concerning to me. Okay, so this gentleman turns in front of us, so it's waiting for the cars to the left, not for him, because they didn't even highlight him that turned in front of us. So after this Jeep, it can go. Nice, nice. Okay, we got someone in the middle of the street here, going off way to the left. I almost got concerned. I thought I was going to hit the curb, but it didn't. And then it just went off way to the left. So that was good. We should be coming up to our destination soon. So I'm going to send it to another part of the city again. See how it's going to get there. I'm just picking random spots while we're at red lights, so I don't have to disengage. Okay, lots of turns here on this next one. We're still going straight compared to the last waypoint that I set, or pin, whatever you want to call it. So surprisingly, downtown isn't as busy as I thought. Maybe because the rush usually is at 10 a.m. in most of southeast Detroit, or what we call Metro Detroit. But again, if you're new to these videos, this is downtown, 8 a.m. in the morning, Detroit, Michigan, September 12th. So the car is proceeding slowly, but I guarantee it's anticipating this gentleman. Let's see what it does. Oh, it's just getting over one lane. Changing lanes away from path blockage. Interesting. Interesting. So that wasn't a path blockage, but still, there's a lot of people in front of which looks like the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice. I think people might be voting for governor. I know that's coming up. So this is interesting. Okay, so we're supposed to be turning left here onto Gratiot Avenue. you can kind of see it already in the visualization. It sees that it's blocked out, and it shows like little blobs, and that is from the new occupancy network, that space is occupied, and now it has to occupy a different way. So let's see if it goes right, because right now the light is red, and I want to see what's going to happen. What's the car going to do? Is it going to go around this? Is it going to reroute us? What is it going to do? Am I going to have to disengage for the first time in the video? I'm going to let the car do its thing. Let's see what happens. And, you know, I'm excited and scared. No, I'm not scared. I'm kidding. But hopefully it sees that tape. But it should know. It's already planning a path to go that way a little bit. I just hopefully, you know, it's showing that that spot is occupied. But okay, I'm just talking. The light is green. Let's see what it does. Okay. And we have to stop. Okay, so you can see that it sees it there on screen, and it knows what's going on. I'm just watching this traffic behind me. So this is initially what I'm doing right now. What it should have done is done something like this, essentially. So even though the occupancy network is still there, that is unfortunately my first disengagement. Interesting, didn't see that in the road. Second disengagement. So I'm just gonna get behind this bus because we have F-150 behind us, and they are probably not fans of Tesla. So re-engaging the system, I'm just gonna count one disengagement there. I won't count the second one. And unfortunately, even though with the new occupancy network, there was still a disengagement, unfortunately, with temporary construction, even though it knew it couldn't go there, but it didn't see the tape. It wanted to go through the barrels in between two of them, which if there wasn't tape there, I'd understand, but then there could be, like, you know, pieces of concrete missing because they're working on the road and all that fun stuff. So anyways, it is what it is. But 17 minutes, one disengagement. Not terrible. Not terrible. But let's see. Okay, it really wants to stick to that right lane. I'm gonna left lane. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cancel that just because, you know, you obviously can't go there. As you can see now, it shouldn't go to the left because it's the occupancy network. I'm seeing it show up. It still wants to pick that left lane, which I'm gonna report that to the team because, as you can see, there's a bunch of gray blobs on the screen, and that's, like I said, part of the new occupancy network. But it still, like, wants to pick that. The turn signal's for the right, because I believe at this light we are going to turn right. So let's see what it's going to do here. So should be making it right here, which is good. Taking it nice and slow. A lot of people in Detroit drive crazy because I'm usually not in downtown. But did that turn excellent, excellent. Better than I would. So that is great. So it's got to be making a left, not at this street, but upcoming. Personally, I would have got over one since we're less than, less than a quarter mile away from the next turn. I think that's what that's for. Yes. Okay. Coming to the left here. Okay. All right, it still made it. So we're going to turn left onto John R. Road. John R. goes for a lot of miles to the north and south, but we're pretty south as it gets right here. So a little bit quick on the turn, but still did its thing. Handling this well with all this construction downtown and this temporary area. And another thought for that occupancy network and that first disengagement we had. This is the first update with the new occupancy network, so it's probably going to take a couple versions until it's really, really good. So our destination is straight ahead. I am going to just send the car into Corktown, which if you guys watched my winter video where the car was really struggling with that, we were going on the brick road. So the car needs to turn left here. This is an only lane. It needs to get over one. It's still gonna treat it as an only lane. Okay, it got in the lane last second, but still, it should have got over. There was plenty of room. There wasn't anybody to the left. So let's see what it's gonna do. Okay, so it's gonna go straight. Then after this light is another road called Michigan Avenue, and it's going to turn right. Okay, light is changing. It's gonna change for us, and there we go. Okay, so, okay, car is just in the middle of the road. Okay, I figured it out. I think it's getting confused by this temporary construction for whatever reason. Wants to go into the construction. You wanna go and do some work there, FSD? So it's really thrown off by this temporary construction wall here with essentially, which is a gated fence. So this person is stopped at a stop sign. Ooh, this bus is so close to us. Okay, so I was watching that bus. I was just about to honk at that person to go, so, but luckily that bus, you know, flew by him, but that bus came so close to us. Okay, creeping. This is good because there's a wall next to it, so it's not sure if someone will come from the temporary construction. So slowing down for the yellow light, and there's a gentleman crossing. Okay. Nice. Creep wall. There's the creep wall. So essentially this is the creep wall again, for those of you that didn't catch it earlier, and that's the max that it'll creep to. And wow, that was really, really good. Wow. I like that a lot. Besides the bumpiness in the road, but that's not FSD's fault. Man, that was really good. A lot of confidence through the turn. It was very smooth, and it felt human-like, like a human was driving me. It's kind of strange that we're having this conversation. Because just 10 years ago, if you told somebody that a car is even close to what it is now in self-driving, they would think that you're on some type of illegal narcotic. So I'm trying to keep this video under 30 minutes because this is essentially my first impressions drive. So this is not our destination. I don't know why the car was slowing down there. Lane change wasn't that big of a deal. But anyways, keeping it under 30 minutes. I don't want to do the hour-long videos because, you know, there's not many of you that are going to watch it that long unless you're a hardcore nerd like me. And I want to go back into Corktown. So Corktown was a fellow follower and beta tester, I believe, suggested this back last year in the winter to go down Corktown, where the road is not pavement. It is Corktown is famous for a lot of old school stuff in Detroit because Detroit has a lot of history with music and a lot of different things. So essentially it's a brick road, which is coming up right now. And there's still lane lines, and you know, it handled it pretty good in the winter then, so let's see how it's going to handle it now in the summer. So you can partially start to hear it now. And again, you know, it's all obviously lane lined and mapped out, so it's no need to, you know. The garbage truck to our right. I pushed the car to the right because, again, these drivers down here in Detroit are not, so it's slowing down for this garbage truck. It's like being cautious, so that was good. And then the garbage truck, I think, is picking up some more garbage, so now you can really hear the road. And I kind of gave the car an interesting situation because it's got to turn left at this light, but this person is here next to us, so it's kind of waiting for them. Ooh, that was a little bit of a, that was interesting. Maybe it doesn't like me talking about it like that. So let's see what it does here. This is the turn. Okay, wow. So it's like, it was going through the turn. It slowed down because I wasn't sure this Kia where it's going. So it's being cautious about that Kia, that's for sure. Okay, and a little bit, ooh, that was a little bit hard acceleration through the turn. A little bit wide there, but hey, man, it did it. And it was gonna just go through that green light, which that's completely fine. I would have done the same thing, but that Kia was kind of like in the middle turn lane in front of us, going the opposite direction, and in the, you know, through lane, so it wasn't like sure at all like what it was doing. So it's being cautious, you know. But man, the system just feels more, wow, after 26 minutes of driving with it, it just feels so natural. Let's see what it does here. Oh wow, that's really good. That's really good. And then we got a cop coming too, which it waits. Oh, that's Border Patrol. That's even worse. Nothing against those people, but man, you don't want to mess with those people. So yeah, so we got to our destination. There's no traffic around us, so I'm gonna send this back. Let's send it back to Bagley Street, or what is that? Okay, let's see what it does here. All right, so now we're in a subdivision. This is a speed bump. Let's see what it does. Does not recognize speed bump, but we got an interesting situation in front of us. So creating room for this person. Nice, fitting it through. But that speed bump, man, I really felt that one. Luckily, we're gonna go to the left, but there is another speed bump. So let's see what the car is gonna do here. I was just looking at the back of the GoPro guy. Oh, that's does not recognize the speed bumps, man. Crap. So we are good to go. That was manhole cover. But oh, yeah, I need that Model S and X suspension. Whew, air suspension. Damn, that is. So interesting situation. The road apparently is closed up ahead. So this is a do not enter. So this is incorrect. I'm going to correct the car. That is the second disengagement of the day, unfortunately. So that is just something I think eventually, if they're using an occupancy network, that they will eventually figure that out. And just like it reads stop signs, speed limit signs, that it would read that it can't go down that street, because that's what it becomes, right? Those are temporary things that they need to rely more on vision on. So the system rerouted. So this is a stop sign, catching it a little bit late, but still catching it. So essentially, interesting how it went to the left, because, you know, angling itself. I like that. I'm assuming that it's doing that because of to see better vision. Still, I'm gonna keep reporting those speed bumps. Okay, so it wanted to go straight, and it still wants to go straight, even though it's not even a street. So I'm just gonna see what it's gonna do here. I know I'm gonna have to disengage. Wow, it's really confident. Okay, so I'm gonna disengage here. I'm gonna go to the left, because obviously it's a road, but obviously it doesn't see that it's a road. So let's see what it does here, because this is a temporary lane. So it's just like kind of stuck. We can go to the right here. I'm gonna see what it does. I think it's just gonna hang out here. I'm gonna let this car go first. So I'm gonna push it through. I'm gonna see what it does. Yeah, so it's, yeah, unfortunately, it really struggles with this temporary construction. Construction guy was telling me to go. Little does he know. Okay, system is not, okay, system's not good. So now it's going to the right, like it's supposed to. Okay, so temporary construction with road closed signs. Still, the system does not understand, and that's something that they need to add into the system, that when, you know, obviously you can't see that from like Google Maps or something like that, but that's something that they need to add into the vision system to go ahead and figure out some people are just flying down here. So I'm checking my time. We're already past 30 minutes. So I'm gonna come down here and make a bunch of other videos for you guys. I just disengaged the system. So final thoughts: huge improvements when it comes to comforts and acceleration around corners, and just the overall feeling of it is really more human-like. Again though, they need to add, I think the next step that they need to improve on so far, because, you know, I've had the update less than a few hours, is rely more on the vision-based system, because as you can see, if they're relying still on Google Maps in a situation with that temporary construction we just experienced a minute ago, that it needs to see those signs that say do not enter and road closed, because it was literally gonna go through them unless I disengaged, right? And the occupancy network is cool from our earlier first disengagement about halfway through the video, but unfortunately it had to disengage, and, you know, somebody hit a curb here. Well, I got the right of way. Anyway, so I'm just wrapping this up. Occupancy network still has to see tape between barrels and figure that out. Other than that, it feels way more smoother, like I said, way more human-like, and I can just see the improvements with the fleet data learning. So this is Tony from Detroit Tesla signing off on today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you guys the best, and please like, subscribe, and share. It means the world to me. Take care for now.